Yes, giving you a rundown of the winner and the year they won it in 2022. Let's start, from the descending order. Senegal won it in 2022, Algeria in 2019, Cameroon in 2017, Ivory Coast in 2015, Nigeria in 2013, Zambia won in 2012, Egypt in 2010, 2008, and 2006. Winning it back to back. Tunisia won it in 2004. Cameroon also winning it back to back in 2002 and 2000. Also Egypt in 1998, South Africa in 1996, Nigeria in 1994. Yes, that was in Tunisia. Ivory Coast in 1992, Algeria in 1990, Cameroon in 1988, Egypt in 1986. Cameroon also won it again in 1984. Ghana won it in 1982, and Nigeria won it in 1980. That was the first time Nigeria Super Eagles won the African Cup of Nations. Others include Ghana 1978, Morocco 1976, DR Congo 1974, Zaire 1974, DR Congo 1972, Sudan 1970, Congo Kinshasa 1968, Ghana 1965 and 1963. Back to back, Ethiopia 1962, United Arab Republic 1959, and the maiden edition of the African Cup of Nations was won by Egypt in 1957. Before we go on to talk about the African Cup of Nations this very beautiful morning, quickly let's take you to some stories coming in from the world of sport this morning. Yes, Raducanu pulls out of Melbourne charity match. Talking about Britain, Iman Raducanu withdrew from a charity match yesterday that was part of our Australian Open build-up. The 2021 US Open champion is set to make a Grand Slam return next week in Melbourne after missing much of 2023 following ankle and wrist surgery. The earlier original opponent Naomi Osaka pulled out and was replaced by Donna Vekic for the match at Melbourne Park. The charity match, the first of four scheduled to take place in the lead up to the start of the Australian Open on Sunday, was later cancelled. President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Guzo, says Super Falcons coach Randy Wardrum will be handed a new deal after his contract expired in October 31, 2023. Wardrum was appointed by the Nigerian Football Federation in 2020 and led the Falcons to the semi-finals of the 2020 WAFCON in Morocco and the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, where the record African champions dazzled before bowing out on penalty to England in the round of 16. Wardrum's assistant Justin Madugu has been in charge of the squad on an interim basis, leading to speculations that the American and the Federation may have parted ways. The NFF and Wardrum have been at daggers draw after the American tactically accused the Federation of misappropriating $960,000 FIFA grant meant for the Falcons World Cup preparation. However, Guzo said that the Federation had reached an agreement with the coach for a contract extension following protracted talks, adding that the coach's insistence on bringing his assistants as well as improved allowances delayed the process. Yes, before we take you to some round leader games from Nigeria, quickly let's take you through the world of boxing, and also we'll be talking about our own man. Yes, his name is Haruna Quadri. But before we go talking about Haruna Quadri, let's talk about another Nigerian. Yes, who is doing it for Britain. Yes, two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua and Martin Bankole are the two highest contender in the WBA rankings and could be ordered to fight in a final eliminator bout, with the winner becoming the mandatory challenger for the WBA title currently held by Olisandra Usyk. The immediate plan for Joshua is a fight against Francis Ngannou, the former UFC champion, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on March 8. A few weeks earlier, Usyk will defend his WBA, IBF and WBO world titles against WBC champion Tyson Fury in an undisputed world title fight in Riyadh February 17. Boxer CEO Ben Shalom, who promotes the WBA #1 ranked Bankole, said that the WBA may order a final eliminator and we are waiting on direction from them. Yes, I believe that will be an interesting bout to also watch. Another Nigerian taking up his brother Martins Bankole against Anthony Joshua. I know the duo actually from the southern part of the country. Quickly away from the rant from boxing story now. Quickly let's talk about this man. His name is Haruna Quadri. Haruna Quadri eyes Olympic sport via ranking. Nigeria's highest ranked table tennis player Haruna Quadri hopes to qualify for the forthcoming Paris 2024 Olympics through the international table tennis ranking. Quadri, who is aiming to qualify for the Olympics for the fourth time, gained a total of 265 points after a quarter-final finish at the recent World Table Tennis Men's Final in Doha, Qatar, to move up to 2 spots from 16th position to 14th, which improved his world rating point to 1,425 points in the months under review. The Nigerian caused one of the biggest upsets at the tourney in Doha, coming from 2-0 down to beat world number 5 Brazil Hugo Calderano 3-2 to book his place in the quarterfinals, where he lost 3-0 to world number 1 Fan Zhendong at the Lusail Sport Arena in Doha. Yes, I believe that Haruna can as well build on this a very good outing and get something good for himself in the year 2024. If not number 1, at least he should be able to rank among the first 5 in the world of tennis. Quickly, we're moving away from tennis this morning. Let's go straight to the Nigerian Professional Football League. Let's take some stories coming in from the Nigerian Professional Football League as part of cost-cutting measures following the country's harsh economic condition. President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Guzo, has cancelled salaries of assistant coaches in all the national teams, saying they will now be paid invitational allowances. Instead, Guzo stated this while addressing journalists in Lagos State yesterday. He said, and I quote, "I told them, I mean the national team coaches, that for us to see that we manage the situation, we are only going to pay the senior coaches' salaries. All other assistants will be engaged on invitational allowance. They should go and do other job." Yes, we won't put them on monthly salary again. We want to reduce that problem so that at the end of the day, I know if the coaches' salaries is 10 million naira and I have 50 million naira, I know I can pay them for 5 months, not pay people for doing nothing. Even if you are the head coach of a team and you are working with other team where you are paid salary, we are going to put you on allowance, not salary. In case if we are supposed to pay you 1 million naira, we will pay you 500,000 naira. So that what we are looking at is to manage the situation. End of quote. The country's football chief added that because they were employed in large numbers, most of the assistant coaches were usually idle. Yes, a lot of people want to commend such move by the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, talking about Alhaji Guzo, for actually emulating the president of the country, talking about the 60% slash in the travel allowance of the president, both at the international and local. The president has said that he's going to cut the travel allowance, and a lot of people are saying that governors should emulate, and it's a good step and a right step in the right direction for the coach of for the Nigerian Football Federation president, talking about Alhaji Guzo, taking the lead in that direction, actually cutting the salaries of assistant coaches, who he said most of the times that they are nearly idle all the time, except the time that they are being called for an international duty. So he said they are now going to be paid invitational allowance, and it's not going to be a permanent salary for them. And I think it's very good a step to be taken by the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, and I hope other presidents of other federations will follow suit. Yes, so that there will be enough money to actually pay the coaches that are actually doing the work. Yes, when we open the pod this morning, this will likely be one of the talking points on the program today. You really think what Alhaji Gusau has done, you really think is also a good step to have been taken by the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau. Still very much around talking about the stories coming from the Nigerian Football Premier League. Following some disappointing results and performances in an ongoing NPFL, the management of Kwara United have reshuffled its technical crew. It will be recalled that the technical crew led by Coach Kabiru Suleiman Dogo were given a 3-match ultimatum following a goalless draw against Niger Tornadoes in Ilorin. To this end, the former captain and coach of the team, Tunde Sani Saliu, has been returned as the chief coach. Saliu was, until his appointment, the chief coach of Abia Warriors and the Kwara State chairman of Nigerian Football Coaches Association. The shake-up was approved at a meeting to review the club performance after a 3-match ultimatum. Dogo retained his position as technical advisor and will now be assisted by Sonny as chief coach, while coach Olani Mukaila Shitu also retains his position as assistant coach. Bolaji Abdulkadri will now be in charge of the Kwara United junior team. The chairman of the club, Kumbi Titiloye, said that the arrangement became necessary to return the team to winning ways. Also, Pillars begs MPFL disciplinary committee for mercy over 12 million naira fine. The management of Kano Pillars Football Club has pleaded with the Nigerian Premier Football League disciplinary committee to reconsider its stance over the 12 million naira fine imposed on the team. It will be recalled that club was due to alleged misconduct of some political thug who led to delay in transmission of a live broadcast, as well as throwing objects into the pitch in protest of the decision of the match official during its Week 17 Premier League match against visiting Plateau United at Sani Abacha Stadium, Kofa Mata in Kano State. In a letter signed by the secretary of the club, Comrade Sani Ibrahim, alias Coach, and made available to journalists, the club condemned the act in totality while begging the committee to be calm and above all be composed in treating such kind of intricate issues in view of new role as impartial umpire. The letter added that as it is known fact that human beings are mistakes bound, hence the need to look upward and downward over the matter with a view to treating justice with mercy. Sporting Lagos will bounce back, vows Offor. Yes, talking about Sporting Lagos coach Paul Offor is optimistic that the team will return to winning ways in the Nigerian Premier League following their poor run in the top flight recently. The noisy Lagosians, as they are fondly called, are yet to win any of their last 5 matches. Their poor run of results saw them drop into the relegation zone on Sunday after losing 2-0 to Enyimba in a match day 17 game in Naba. Sporting Lagos made a dream start to the live in the MPFL with a 2-0 home victory against Gombe United in October and followed it up with a goalless draw against Aqua United in New York. However, they have only won 4 games so far this season, drawing 5 and losing 7. After the defeat in Naba, Offor lamented injuries that have plagued his team this time. Yes, before we take you to the African Cup of Nations that will be starting in less than 6 days, quickly let's take this last one coming from the Nigerian Professional Football League, and it has to do with Aqua United. Yes, they are trying everything to beef up the team. Yes, 4 new strikers. Nigerian Premier Football League side, Aqua United, are set to beef up the team with 4 new attackers. The promised keepers, caretaker coach Umar Abdullahi disclosed this in a chat with newsmen in Eket. Abdullahi said that the club's aim to bring in quality players to improve the attacking department. He said Aqua United have recorded 4 wins, 6 draws and 7 defeats in 17 games this season. and the former MPFL champions are 16th on the table with 18 points. And the coach is saying they just need to bring in more attacking players so that they will be able to actually maintain and sustain the vision of the team to play intercontinental game. That will take us away from the Nigerian Professional Football League straight to the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Believe in us, Musa begs Nigerians. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa has charged Nigerians not to lose trust in the team as they hope to win a 4th African Cup of Nations title at the 34th edition of the tournament, which holds from January 13 to February 11 in Ivory Coast. The 3-time champions are in Group A, which also has host nation Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. Musa's wish is coming after the Eagles' lackluster pre-AFCON friendly, which they lost 2-0 to Guinea at the Baniyah Stadium, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates on Monday. The game marked the end of their 1-week training camp in the Middle East, and they will depart for Ivory Coast via Lagos State today. Yes, and the captain, the standing captain, is begging Nigerians that they should not lose faith in the team. Yes, also talking tough from the African Cup of Nations preparations. Don't give up excuse. Ideye tells Eagles, former Super Eagles striker and 2013 AFCON winner Brown Ideye says that the team has no excuse not to win the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. The 34th edition of the Baniyah tournament holds from January 13 to February 11. It's been 11 years since Nigeria last won the African title, and the Eagles are raring to break the duck in Ivory Coast. Since then, the country failed to qualify for 2 consecutive editions in 2015 and 2017. On their return in 2019, they settled for another 3rd place finish and were knocked out by Tunisia in the round of 16 the last time out in Cameroon 2021. Ideye was a regular member of Nigeria's squad that won the tournament in South Africa 2013, and he scored the Eagles' second goal in their 4-1 semi-final win over Mali, while he also played in the 1-0 win over Burkina Faso in the semi-final. He believes that the current team is better poised to win the tournament again for Nigeria after 10 years. Coming from Ideye, don't give us excuses, Ideye tells Eagles. Yes, also let's talk about the coach of the team, talking about Jose Peseiro. We lost to Guinea because we tried a new system, and this is coming from the Super Eagles coach Jose Peseiro. He has said that the Super Eagles lost to Guinea because he used a new system that the players had never played in before. Speaking to NFF media after the loss, the Portuguese gaffer said he was happy with the 2-0 loss, though he would have loved to win the game. According to him, Gubo Kamara and Fascinet Conte were the goal scorer for Guinea in the upset at the Baniyah Stadium, with Peseiro blaming the result on a change in tactical approach and personnel, while also claiming to have been satisfied with the performance of the team. Yes, I wonder why he would just be trying, though it's a friendly game and he has all the liberty to actually test run or to actually do whatsoever he wants to do. Maybe to if the system has worked, talking about the tactics, if the 2-3-3 the 3-4-3 is being using, if it had worked, it would have been a very good addition. But now going into that tournament, I know he will never want to try it again. And yes, let's just open port this very beautiful morning. Let's talk about the performances of the Super Eagles of Nigeria so far in the 2 friendlies. Do you really think is enough yardstick to measure what may likely be the performance of the Super Eagles in the African Cup of Nations? Just the number to dial to be part of the show is 0806-522-6145. And let's talk about Ibrahim Guzo cutting down saying that the assistant coaches will no longer be collecting salary, but they will only be placed on invitational allowance. Do you really think is a right step in the right direction? And let's talk about Peseiro risking some tactical display just when the Nations Cup is almost at the is starting. So these are the two areas we'll be talking about. Let's have your view about the step taken by Ibrahim Gozo slashing about taking the assistant coaches out of the NFF payroll, that they are only going to be given invitational allowance. And also let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Do you really think we should judge them on the two friendlies? In the first game, they defeated a lowly rated club in Abu Dhabi 12-0, and a lot of people were saying that the Super Eagles, yes, are sending strong signal to the African countries that will be participating in the African Cup of Nations. But this time around, only for yes, I will call them a lowly rated in Africa, as we're talking about Guinea, the scorer of Guinea. Yes, defeating the Eagles 2-0. At least if you look at the players paraded by Peseiro, apart from the likes of Victor Osimhen and Olaino, he fielded nearly all the regulars that will be having almost 80% of players that played in that game will definitely be making the first 11 come Sunday, yes, January 14, when we'll be facing Equatorial Guinea. And we are not still getting it right, and I think it's time for experiment for Peseiro to start experimenting this very, I would say, the 11th hour. Do you really think is the best time for him to start experimenting, or you think yes, that could be a very good time for him to experiment as well? Yes, we are talking about the African Cup of Nations. We are expecting your call. Yes, just keep the call coming in. Let's talk about the African Cup of Nations. Let's talk about Nigeria. Yes, we will be telling you some players that will be making their debut in the African Cup of Nations for Nigeria. Yes, we have Calvin Bassey playing straight for Fulham. The 23-year-old has been heavily criticized for his underwhelming performance for the Eagles, but now he has a chance to prove his doubters wrong in Abidjan. Also looking at another man, his name is Ademola Lookman. Yes, Lookman's skillful and creative style of play has been in highlight in Italy for Atlanta, but will he be able to replicate such? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Afternoon.
Hey, good morning, Gene.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Amada. Long time Amada.
Yes, Gene, glad to have you again.
Thank God is back on here again, my brother.
Thank you. Let's have your take.
Let's go for the
discussion of the day.
Today.
Okay, Chelsea against Middlesbrough.
Chelsea lost the first leg.
But do you really think they will come back the second leg?
But I'm seeing the second leg. I'm seeing Chelsea won the match by 2 goals to nothing, 3 goals to nothing. I'm still Chelsea in the final.
Okay.
And for the Nation Cup, that will start very soon. I'm seeing Nigeria will perform well. I bring the cup to Nigeria. I'm sure for that one. Nigeria will try their best, bring the cup to the Nigeria. I'm sure for that one.
Thank you. Thank you, Gene.
Morning to you.
Thank you, Gene. Very good morning and compliment of the season to you. Yes, a regular caller on the show, Sport Update. Gene, all the way from Ikole Ekiti, giving it to Chelsea in the second half, the second leg of the semi-final of Carabao Cup. Yes, we'll still talk about that game that was decided yesterday at the Riverside Stadium, where Chelsea lost by a long goal in the first leg. Quickly talking about another debutant in the African Cup of Nations for Nigeria is Raphael Yendika. He has been earning comparison to France World Cup winner Paul Pogba since last year, and the 22-year-old versatile midfielder. I hope it will bring a lot of pace and creativity to the Eagles squad. Also, another Nigerian playing is straight for Abidjan side is Yusuf Alassane, yes, of Royal Antwerp, and it's not only an AFCON newcomer but also a super good new boy. He was a last-minute replacement for injured Leicester City Wilfred Ndidi, and the midfielder can make a name for himself at the competition. Bright Osayi Samuel also is another person, and Stanley Uwambili is one of the 2 goalkeepers in the Eagles squad making their debut at the tournament, and also Eyimba first choice, who is Ojo Olonuleke, is also making his debut. We have Bruno Oyemachi and Peter Akimbo. All of these players, what can they bring to the squad? Yes, We hope that by Monday, when the Super Eagles of Nigeria takes on the Eagles, talking about Equatorial Guinea, I hope these guys will actually, show the stuff they were made of. Murphy to join Super Eagles in Abidjan on Sunday. OGC striker Terem Murphy will join the Super Eagles squad in Abidjan next week Sunday. According to the report, the 24-year-old will miss the Super Eagles opening 2023 African Cup of Nations Group A clash with Equatorial Guinea. Murphy was a late replacement for Bayern Leverkusen striker Victor Boniface, who has been ruled out of the competition with injury. And a lot of people are having different opinion from Jose Peseiro. A lot of people believe that striker from the old fronts ought to have been given the opportunity to actually make the cut. NPFL striker should have replaced Boniface, says Egweke. Others, former Super Eagles defender Azubike Egweke has said that the forward from the Nigerian Premier Football League should have replaced the injured Victor Boniface ahead of the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. Bayern Leverkusen top scorer was reported to have suffered a groin injury in training, and his club confirmed that he will undergo a surgery. And later, Terem Murphy, the 24-year-old who has scored 6 goals in League One, was a surprise omission when Nigeria named its squad last month, but as fate will have it, now he has made the cut. But a lot of people believe that Nigerian Professional Football League in the Nigerian PFL, that a lot of players who are actually doing well should have made the cut instead of going to all the way to France to call on Terem Murphy. Players like Alimi Sikiru of Remo Stars. Yes, a lot of people are rooting for Alimi, who is the top scorer now for in the Nigerian Professional Football League, so that he will be given opportunity to actually boost his playing career. Also, former Bayelsa United striker Robert Mizo, who left the Liberian Giants, also believe that with 10 goals in this Nigerian Professional Football League, that if given the opportunity, he would have been able to actually get his name registered. In the Super Eagles maybe, but I know everybody has his own time. And I think that the likes of Sikiru Alimi, if he continues like this, his time will surely come. And yes, he will be given the opportunity to actually play don the green and white jersey. Quickly, we'll be moving away from that. Let's talk about some transfer stories coming in. Yes, let's start with our own Oshoala. Barcelona striker Asisat Oshoala is set for a shock move to Women's Super League side Manchester United. Oshoala was heavily linked with Manchester United in the summer of 2021, but Barcelona ended up persuading her to sign a new contract. Yes, she was once a Liverpool player, and I hope he will fancy the idea of going back to to England to actually play straight for either Chelsea or Manchester United. United are behind first place Chelsea in the Women's Super League at the moment, and the signing of Oshoala could enhance their chances of closing the gap between them and the table leader. Oshoala joined Barcelona in 2019 and has played 100 games in the Primera Division Femina. The Nigeria has scored 92 goals for our Spanish side. Also, quickly leaving that story now, let's take you to some other story. Timo Werner. Yes, Timo Werner reveals who convinced him to join Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur latest signing Timo Werner has suggested that the club's manager Angel Postecoglou convinced him to join the Premier League club. The Germany international officially joined Tottenham yesterday from RB Leipzig on a 6-month deal until the end of this season. Yes, I was still talking about transfer window. This very beautiful Wednesday morning. Yes, we take you to other stories coming from yes, we call it gossip, because some are yet to materialize, why some are in the pipeline, why some, yes, it's just a mere rumor. Ajax are interested in signing England midfielder Jordan Henderson from Saudi Pro League side Al Ettifaq, but face competition from Premier League and Bundesliga club for the 33-year-old. Al Ettifaq could be persuaded in selling Henderson in January or allowing him to leave on loan. England winger Jadon Sancho is set to join Borussia Dortmund on loan, but will return to parent club Manchester United after his stint because the German club cannot afford to make the deal permanent. Also going to Germany, Bayern Munich have made a late bid for Tottenham Hotspur target Radu Dragusin, and now it is up to the 21-year-old Genoa and Romania defender to decide where he wants to move. While PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi said he wants the 25-year-old France striker Kylian Mbappe, whose contract runs out in the summer, to stay with the French champions as it is the best club for him. Yes, PSG are working on a deal to sign 28-year-old Germany midfielder Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich in January, while Newcastle United rejected any January offer from PSG for Brazil midfielder Bruno Guimarães, with the 26-year-old settled on the team side. England forward Cole Palmer says he wants to move on loan from Manchester City last summer, but was told he could either stay or get sold before he joined Chelsea. Also moving to Fulham, Fulham are monitoring 25-year-old AZ Alkmaar and Greece striker Vangelis Pavlidis, who have been watched by Chelsea, AC Milan and Barcelona in recent weeks. Quickly, Leicester City boss Enzo Maresca is pushing to bring in 28-year-old Italy midfielder Stefano Sensi from Inter Milan. Yes, let's talk about our ladies in Ekiti State. Talking about Ekiti Queens, they will later today file out against Raymond's ladies. Yes, Raymond ladies in Ikene. Yes, in the ongoing female national Premier League. Venue is Ikene Raymond in Ogun State, and yes, the time will definitely be 4 in the afternoon. And Ekiti United, yes, they've been actually trying and getting the needed points at home, only for them to just go away. And I believe that the first away victory may likely come today for Ekiti Queens, who will be playing against Raymond's ladies right there in front of their fans. And I believe the Bowers Queens, yes, as they are finally called, will actually show up what they are made up of, and they are going to get the maximum of 3 points. Yes, we believe they have all what it takes to do it, and they will definitely get the needed 3 points. If not all the 3 points, at least they should be able to salvage a point from that away tie against Raymond ladies. Yes, we wish them well. Alan Padu earns Arsenal names of 2 players to sign this summer. Yes, and this will be the last shot on the program. Former Newcastle United coach Alan Padu has urged Arsenal to sign Brentford Ivan Toney or Napoli's Victor Osimhen this January transfer window in order to keep their Premier League title charge going. Both Toney and Osimhen have been linked heavily with Arsenal and Chelsea this month. Speaking to journalists, Padu also admitted that it will be difficult for Brentford and Napoli to sell their attackers. He said, and I quote, "It is very, very difficult in this window because the cards are all held by the selling clubs. So I know from my history in January, it is very difficult to do any kind of business, any meaningful business. I look at Arsenal and I can think of 2 names that could do the job for them. You have got Toney and you have got Victor Osimhen. Those 2 definitely will give Arsenal a chance of winning the Premier League. But you are talking about 100 million euros plus for the boy out in Italy for sure. He will probably be the best bet. And Toney, what are Brentford going to ask for him at this stage? I can say." End of quote, coming from Alan Padu. And that will be the size of the program today. Tomorrow is definitely another day. Do join us then. But before leaving you, quickly remind you that devil is a liar. Resist him, he will flee from you. My name is Sunday Daramola, saying bye for now.